us, don't let it fade.
Welcome to Liberty Monday with Monday. Today we continue our systematic walk through the Declaration of Independence by examining the 9th and 10th of the 27 grievances. These two grievances focus on the structure of justice itself. They address how the British Crown altered judicial systems in the colonies and how power was consolidated through the creation of new offices and an expanding bureaucracy. At first glance, these concerns may seem administrative. In reality, they strike at the heart of liberty. When courts lose independence and when government offices multiply to enforce control, freedom becomes fragile. Context: why judicial independence matters. The founders believed that justice must be 1. Independent. 2. Impartial. 3. Accountable to law, not political power. Without an independent judiciary, rights exist only at the pleasure of those in authority. The 9th and 10th grievances reveal how the Crown weakened that independence and expanded centralized control. The 9th grievance: judicial dependence on the Crown. The text of the grievance: he has made judges dependent on his will alone, for the tenure of their offices, and the amount and payment of their salaries. What this means in plain language: this grievance accuses the king of controlling judges directly. Their job security and their pay depended entirely on his will. That arrangement undermined the very idea of impartial justice. Why tenure matters. Judicial tenure protects judges from political retaliation. If judges fear losing their position for unpopular decisions, they cannot rule fairly. Under this system: 1. Judges served at the pleasure of the king. 2. Their income could be adjusted or withheld. 3. Their independence was compromised. A judge who depends on executive favor is not truly independent. Why salary control is so significant. Control over compensation is a powerful tool. If the Crown could 1. Increase salary for compliance. 2. Reduce or withhold salary for resistance. 3. Remove judges for decisions it disliked. Then judicial rulings could be influenced without openly rewriting the law. The founders recognized this as a subtle but powerful form of control. The broader principle at stake. The grievance reflects a core constitutional idea that would later be embedded in American government: separation of powers. Courts must interpret the law free from executive interference. Without that separation: 1. Rights become insecure. 2. Legal decisions become political. 3. Citizens lose protection from abuse. The founders understood that when judges answer to the ruler rather than the law, justice becomes conditional. The 10th grievance: expanding bureaucratic control. The text of the grievance: he has erected a multitude of new offices, and sent hither swarms of officers to harass our people, and eat out their substance. What this means: the king created numerous new governmental offices and sent large numbers of officials into the colonies. These officers were not neutral administrators. According to the grievance, they existed to harass the people and drain their resources. Understanding eat out their substance. This phrase refers to economic burden. The colonists believed that 1. These officials were supported by colonial tax revenue. 2. Their presence increased financial strain. 3. Their enforcement actions disrupted daily life. The bureaucracy was seen not as service, but as intrusion. Why bureaucratic expansion alarmed the colonists. Government offices carry authority. When multiplied excessively, they can become instruments of pressure. The Crown's actions resulted in 1. Increased surveillance and enforcement. 2. Greater economic burden. 3. Expanded central control over local affairs. The grievance suggests that these offices were not necessary for public order but were designed to tighten political control. The connection between grievances 9 and 10. These two grievances complement one another. First, the judiciary was made dependent on executive will. Second, A growing bureaucracy was deployed to enforce policies and extract resources. Together, they describe a system where 1. Law enforcement answers upward, not outward. 2. Courts lack independence. 3. Citizens face expanding administrative authority without meaningful recourse. This combination weakens liberty from both the legal and administrative sides. Why these grievances still matter. The 9th and 10th grievances remind us that freedom depends not only on written rights but on institutional design. They teach that 1. Judges must be insulated from political pressure. 2. Compensation and tenure must not be tools of control. 3. Government expansion must be accountable and limited. 4. Bureaucracy must serve the people, not burden them. When courts lose independence and administrative power grows unchecked, liberty erodes gradually but steadily. Closing reflection. Grievances 9 and 10 demonstrate that the American break from Britain was not based on isolated incidents. It was based on structural changes that undermined justice and expanded centralized authority. The founders carefully documented how judicial dependence and bureaucratic overreach made self-government increasingly impossible. They wanted the world to understand that independence was not impulsive. It was a reasoned response to a pattern of systemic abuse. These grievances continue to serve as reminders that liberty requires both independent courts and restrained government power. Thank you for watching. As always, stay informed, stay free.